Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
What's up, full-time family? It's time to answer the 7,000 subscriber Q&A. Ask me anything. So first things first, you see Trollbuster, Stamina MC, and Iron W at the bottom. I wanted to get those out of the way so we can fix the screen. They didn't have any questions, just the notification gang. Whenever the notifications work, at least you guys got notifications for this video. And then also Iron W said, congratulations, bro. Much appreciated, Iron W. So now let me fix the screen and we will start this Q&A. So we're 7,000 subscribers, man. It's been a grind, you know what I'm saying? We started last year, still fast growing. I mean, we're still one of the fastest growing MMA channels on YouTube. How long that'll be the case, not sure. Seems like our channel's been, I don't even know if it's trolls at this point or just YouTube algorithms. I don't know. Either way, we were growing a lot faster when we had less subs, which doesn't make the most sense. But hey, we just got to keep grinding. We're going to do that. We're at 7,000 subs. And once we hit 8,000, you know what I'm saying? The grind will... We got some great fights coming up, and it's a great time to be an MMA fan. So let's get into this Q&A because we're going to go live right after this. MMA from the Heartland, day one hitter on deck. I'm talking about 100 subs. I'm talking about first 100. Holy smokes. Bro, every milestone has been amazing through your ups and downs. You put your head down and work your ass off. You deserve everything that comes your way. Do you think Michael Chandler will ever sign with the UFC? And do you think Daniel Cormier will take a fight after he turns 40? Reason I ask is because there are quite a few fighters that would make sense and not enough time if he retires on his birthday. It's been pretty cool seeing all the shit you've gone through with this channel, and now to be a 7K is crazy. Definitely would have been there sooner if it weren't for that jealous old crusty dick. He just hate us cause he ain't us. He hate us cause he ain't us. Yo, my motherfucking dog. Alright, I appreciate everything, man. And as far as the questions, do I think Michael Chandler will ever sign with the UFC? Ooh, I'm about 50-50. I do think if he becomes a free agent, he'll sign with the UFC. But right now, the fact that you're asking this question right now, we're right in the middle of finding out because Eddie Alvarez is also becoming a free agent. I'll say this. I think wherever one of them signs, the other will sign. If Michael Chandler goes to the UFC, I think Eddie Alvarez resigns with the UFC. If Michael Chandler resigns with Bellator, I think Bellator would make a run at Alvarez. You know, so I do think that's a fight that we will see again. That's what I hope for. I'm hoping we get to see Alvarez, and it would be crazy if it happened in the UFC, Alvarez versus Chandler again. So I think that would be their third fight, right? They only fought twice. But either way, yeah, that's a fight that I know a lot of fans want to see again because the first two were great. So with that being said, I'll say yes. And then if I'm wrong, it'll be in my mind because Eddie Alvarez is going to sign with Bellator because they're both really, like, possibly free agents. Both of them, I believe, just fought their last fight on their contract. So it's a toss-up right now, but I'll say yes, and I think that would be crazy. If you heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan was like, hey, you try to come to the UFC? Maybe I could talk to Dana. You know what I'm saying? So I do think there's definitely people that want Michael Chandler in the UFC. So yes. With that being said, do you think DC will take a fight after he turns 40? That's a great question. You said there's a few fights that would make sense and not enough time. The only fight I think he would do it for is Brock Lesnar or John Jones. I don't see him staying past 40 to fight Stipe again or to fight Ilir Latifi or fucking Gustafsson. But for a big money fight, let's say he fought Brock Lesnar in January and he was out until April, but John Jones got cleared to fight and he could fight in April. I think he would do one more fight past his birthday if it was like that John Jones at heavyweight. Or let's say, who knows, if John Jones got cleared before then and he beat John Jones and you know, the time frame I think he would fight Brock after, like in April, if that's when the time frame, you know, was given. So I don't think he's just gonna stay and keep fighting contenders after 40. I think he's got other plans. He's still gonna be around on the commentary booth doing the Fox desk or probably ESPN desk at that point. I mean, DC's got a lot of other things to do, and you know, why not go out on top? You know, or at least in a money fight, right? If you lose to John Jones, it is what it is. You're going out, you know, with the bag, kind of like you just fought Brock, you know, because likely he would be fighting both of them. Now, with that being said, well, you know, that's still what if. We still got to see what happens with Brock Lesnar in this USADA testing period, and as well as John Jones. What if fucking Brock Lesnar's unable to come back due to USADA or whatever? Like, let's say he failed a drug test, and then what if John Jones can't come back for the 2 years? Who's DC gonna fight as far as money fights? He might just have to fight a couple contenders, and then even then, you know, maybe if he maybe then he would stay even a little longer if he had to fight a couple contenders until John Jones came back. Maybe be like, all right, I'll fight John. So long story short, I think, yeah, he might do it one fight after his birthday. I don't think more than one though. Any street fight, says Emir Sahin. Man, I saw this question earlier and I'm glad I did, because I almost thought no. I forgot about this time that I used to run this fucking party house, bro. So since I thought about it, yeah, since after I was, you know, an adult, there's only been one that I can think of. I've been almost jumped a couple times at some bars, you know what I'm saying, just standing my ground and people having their homies just, you ain't about to just punk me out. Y'all about to jump me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, whoever it was, girls, whoever stepped in, and, hey, y'all chill, motherfucking, hey, come on, these motherfuckers are drunk, whatever happened. So, you know, I didn't end up getting jumped at those bars. But as far as a street fight, and it wasn't even just with a random person, it was with one of my fucking homies, and that's why it didn't last that long. You know, whether it was because he felt the right, no, I'm just playing, but regardless, I landed a shot. I don't think he landed one before. I'll explain how it happened. So we were at this fucking party, man. We had a bunch of people. We used to have this party house. One of my homie's sisters was moving into a different house, and so she didn't give a fuck about her old house at this point, because her new house, and this is in the ghetto, right? So, you know, clearly it's not advisable, you know, because she was renting the house. It's not like she owned the house, but she was moving into like her boyfriend's house, and she didn't give a fuck about her name, credit, none of that shit. So she was like, yeah, y'all can have some parties there. Now, of course, we didn't go crazy and fucking put holes in the wall, but we went crazy. We were having like water balloon fights, and we had so many parties in this house, we had to start theming the weekdays. It was like Wet and Wild Wednesday. So every Wednesday we were throwing fucking water all around the house. Every Thursday was like topless thirsty Thursdays. Like, we had that fucking theme every day of the week because we were having so much parties at this house. So of course, drunk, boom boom. Toward the end, maybe like the third week of having parties, man, me and my girl are at the party. My homie's drunk, known for being drunk, calls her a bitch. I'm drunk. Normally, you know, I'm not the type of dude that just gets into shit with people, because I know a lot of people always have fucking weapons, especially where I'm from. It's open carry, and I'm a big dude, so motherfuckers are always threatening before you even think about a fight. Oh, you know, you're big, you know, I'll have to shoot you. So, you know, just avoid. I usually avoid the situation. I'm not somebody out here that's just looking for motherfuckers to beat up anyway, you know, because usually people that are getting in a bunch of street fights only fight people that they think they can beat up, you know, so they think they're tough. But, you know, the situation, if it's a bigger guy or someone that they don't feel like they can whoop, it's a, oh, I ain't got time, I ain't trying to go to jail. But you got your homies around or whatever, you're Billy Badass. So I'm not one of those dudes, you know what I'm saying? I didn't come up just fucking fighting motherfuckers in the streets, so that's not my MO. But with that being said, I was drunk, he was drunk, my girl was there, a bunch of our homies was there. Let the fucking crowd influence you. You're just whatever. You're drunk. Calls her a bitch. I call him out. He pushes me one time. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, let's go to the backyard. And mind you, he's black. It's dark as fuck. That was the wrong move, because it was like Noob Saibot out there, bro. There wasn't no light. I couldn't even see him, but I was pissed off and drunk, so I didn't give a fuck. And I already said, let's go to the backyard. I can't say, all right, let's move it back in here because I can't see you. So we go out there, square up with them, man, and I'm like, I don't even know what's gonna happen in this fight, bro. I ain't been in a fight since fucking high school. I'm not a fighter, but I'm about to whoop his ass. So, and it's one of my, mind you, it's one of my homies, man. Me, out of all the people at the party, me and him knew each other since fucking before high school. All these motherfuckers are at our party. We're throwing the party, and now, you know, it's three or four of us at the house throwing the party, and two of the motherfuckers throwing the party are fighting at the party. Keep that in mind. It's not like we're just fighting the random motherfuckers at the party. We're fighting each other at our party. So anyways, it went good for me, luckily, because like I said, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I don't fucking train. Wasn't training kickboxing or nothing. I'm just winging shit, but I know he ain't training shit either. You know, we're just fighting off the street instincts and shit. He's been in a couple fights. I was before high school, whatever, bada boom. And you know, still I'm watching UFC. I'm just fucking around. But so we go out back, can't see this motherfucker, but I fucking throw a right hook and it connects, and I'm a big dude, so that motherfucker connects, and I know it hurt him. And so whenever it connected, I also charged him against the fence, and I was like holding him there like in the clinch. Now I didn't have my skills up, I wasn't using my head and controlling him like the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But I was just holding him against the fence, and me being bigger than him a little bit, I was able to keep him there. And then he was like, bro, we shouldn't be doing this, and I was like, man, you're right, you know what I'm saying? And I already got one off, so I was like, fuck this, I don't want to, you know, I already pretty much won. We're boys. He already felt one. So if he don't want to fight anymore, we're done. You know what I'm saying? We're done. I'm not going to just overdo it. No, fuck that. Yeah, you called my girl a bitch. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I already got one off. So he was done. We were done. We was cool after that. We shook up everything, went back to the party, realized we were stupid the next day. Like, why the fuck were we fighting each other? Like, nigga, we was drunk, you know? So it is what it is. But that happened 5 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's one story, and that's probably the only one. And if you asked me that on another Q&A, I might have forgot. Like I said, I almost to this question was like, I haven't been, have I? And then I remembered that. Maybe I almost forgot it because I was drunk when it happened, but yeah, I remembered that one. So there you go. Emir Sahin also said Maribek Taisumov versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Holy smokes. I just assumed they were boys. I don't know, is that racist? Maybe they're not. But yeah, that would be a fun fight, but Khabib would probably out. I don't know about Maribek's grappling. I know he's knocking motherfuckers silly, but I don't know if his grappling is comparing with Khabib, you know what I'm saying? I was really looking forward to see how he did against a top-ranked opponent, but he had the visa issues. But Maribek Taisumov versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, that would definitely be an interesting fight. I just want to see how Maribek Taisumov would do against some of the best fighters in the world. Would you collaborate with the Weasel MMA? Yes, I would. I've tried in the past, and I think someone else asked a question about that earlier, and I'll explain, but pretty much I got ignored. But it's because I got a lot less subscribers, so maybe he was a little less willing, or maybe he just wasn't collaborating at that point. But maybe you don't like the channel, maybe you've seen some stuff, not agree. I don't know, brother. But yeah, I've reached out in the past because on one of these Q&As, someone has asked me about that. How would you collaborate with him? And I was like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, dog. And so, but yeah, no, I think I enjoy his breakdowns, you know what I'm saying? He clearly sounds like he knows what he's talking about in his predictions. Now, I'll say this, just friendly competition. My predictions sometimes are, you know, we're dead even with the predictions, and sometimes I might, you know, so not necessarily, you know, they call me Mystic Full-Time for a reason, that's what I'm saying, but I still definitely enjoy his content. He's doing the podcast now and stuff like that. I think he's even going to be starting to do live fight companions like us kind of in the future. So, yeah, I would love to collaborate with the Weasel, but I don't know if the feeling's mutual. But hey, it is what it is. I ain't worried about it. Nobody wants to fucking collaborate with me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We do our Thug Dizzle here. Of course, CSH Combat Sports. He, you know, we collaborate sometimes on the panels. So yeah, man, if people want to collaborate, we can collaborate. If not, I'm gonna keep my head down and keep grinding. Same with interviews. I don't care if you're an amateur fighter or a pro fighter. I will interview anybody that wants to help get their name out there. But I've sent people messages, you know, and if you don't respond, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Interviews don't help your channel out that much to just be fucking trying to hit up you and then your manager and then nobody responds and then, you know, do that for 20 different, I could just be grinding and putting out a news topic, you know what I'm saying? And actually doing something productive instead of, so if somebody wants to collaborate, do anything like that, I'm always down. But if they don't, they don't. Moving on, Lolita Davidovich says, congratulations. Thank you very much, Lolita. Emir Sahin says, Greg Hardy versus Derek Lewis. Greg Hardy versus Overeem. I think he can win that one because Overeem has no chin. Gregor Gillespie versus Maribek Taisumov. Greg Hardy versus Derek Lewis. God, oh, man, I would hate for Greg Hardy to get that win, but it's possible. Fuck. I think if Derek Lewis gets out of the first round with Greg Hardy, he wins the fight, but he'd have to be real careful in that first round. Greg Hardy versus Overeem, I would low-key have to go with Greg Hardy. I agree. Yeah, sucks because Overeem's a fucking beast and a heavyweight legend, but Greg Hardy is just a motherfucking monster. That's what he's looking like at this point, but I would still love to see how he does against UFC caliber competition, and there's definitely still questions, but just the picture that you have of Greg Hardy right now in your head and what he's been doing to guys, knocking everyone out in the first round, you know his history and his athletics in the NFL and whatnot. I mean, dude is just a monster with his potential, with what he could be doing. So he's definitely got a lot of work to do as far as the skills are concerned. I don't think he could be a champion. There's definitely guys that he could fucking blow up, you know what I'm saying? So and Overeem might be one of them. So I don't know. Yeah, but I would probably lean toward Greg Hardy right now. Gregor Gillespie versus Maribek Taisimov. Ooh, that'd be a fun fight. I like that one more than Maribek Taisimov versus Khabib because it's kind of like the same thing, except for Gregor Gillespie's not the champion, so it makes a little more sense. But Gregor Gillespie's wrestling is fucking amazing. Man, that's a great fight right there. I might give the edge to Gregor Gillespie, maybe, man. Maribek Taissimov's a savage. I don't know. That's one I would just have to sit back and enjoy. I mean, that's a fight that probably should happen. I could imagine that like on a Madison Square Garden card or something. Gregor Gillespie being from New York, Maribek Taisimov, Russian. You know, they of course have their fans in Brooklyn and New York. We see them always show up to support Khabib. So that's a fight that should happen in like Madison Square Garden. That'd be crazy, but damn, that's a great fight. I can't even think of how that would go off the top of my head. So yeah, man, I don't know. That's a great fight though. That's crazy you brought that up. I didn't even expect to see that's a great fucking fight. That's great matchmaking right there, especially for like an MSG card, dude. I might give the edge to Gregor. His wrestling is fucking insane, but Maribek Taisimov is super dangerous. So I might give a slight edge to Gregor Gillespie off the top of my head. If you had a gun to my head, I might give the slight edge to Gregor. But man, Maribek, I believe, is going to be fighting at UFC Moscow. So I can't wait to see that fight for sure. Jordan Walsh says, congrats on 7K, road to 10K, much appreciated, brother. Jordan Walsh says, if McGregor loses to Khabib, how will it affect his legacy and his fighting career moving forward? If McGregor loses to Khabib, I think he would still be big, but a lot of the hype would die. Now, so what does that mean? That means instead of his next fight selling like 3 million or 2 million, it might go down a little, 1.5, a million. I think, you know, everyone's still gonna know who Conor McGregor is, but it's gonna have to. I don't know if he'd be able to have the same bravado and the champ talking shit. You know what I'm saying? It would just be a little different, but he would still be a big star. But it would just kind of be like, you know, it would deflate him a little bit. So I don't know how that would affect. And as far as his legacy, I mean, now what I was just talking about is how it would affect his star, and I don't know about his overall legacy though. It might be a little more devastating to like his overall legacy, because when you think about Conor McGregor's legacy, it's the champ, right? It's the champ. And so if he comes in here and just gets like fucking ragdolled or power bombed or whatever can happen if Khabib gets his hands on him and, you know, smashed like chicken, and you know, if that happened to Conor McGregor, then I think it would look really bad on the champ thing, because it's like, yeah, you were the first to do it, and so you got that, but I don't think anybody would recognize him if he was still walking around calling himself the champ. Some people already don't, but if he lost to Khabib, I mean, even the hardcore and some casual fans would look at it like, well, you beat Eddie Alvarez, but that was really your only fight at lightweight. So you know what I'm saying? If he lost in devastating fashion, I think it could hurt his legacy. But Yeah, man, as far as his fighting career moving forward, though, that's kind of what I was talking about in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, as far as how big would his next fight be and stuff like that. But yeah, his fighting career moving forward, he would still have some big fights. I don't think the Mayweather rematch would be open if he like lost this fight. I don't even know if he was interested in rematching Mayweather. I don't even know if that's a possibility. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that would be open anymore because the allure of Conor McGregor would kind of be dimmed. But the fights that would still be there, of course, are like fucking Nate Diaz. That would still be there. And I don't know, so yeah, I think it would hurt Conor McGregor quite a bit if he got smashed like a chicken there. So, but and that's got to happen. And to be fair, it's not like you can just count him out of this fight all of the way for sure. So if he wins this fight, shit, he's still the motherfucking champ, and it's crazy because he beat the undefeated Khabib Nurmagomedov. That would be crazy, biggest fight of all time. There's so much going into that fight. Holy shit, there's so much on the line, man, in this fight. Not even just about the belt. It's really both of their legacies kind of are at stake here. Conor McGregor's legacy takes a blow here. If he loses, Khabib loses his 0 and loses to Conor, who he's supposed to be making humble. And these motherfuckers got so much on the line in this fight. That's crazy. Jordan Walsh says, has the best pound for pound chin? Man, that's hard to say because the motherfuckers who had the best pound for pound chin, it starts to wear off. But you think about guys, of course, like Justin Gaethje, Darren Elkins, Nate Diaz, guys that get in slugfest, Roy Nelson, who was it? Somebody just walked through some shit recently. I can't think of who it was off the top of my head. Curtis Blades, maybe he walked through some shit from Mark Hunt and just ate it, or somebody, or Overeem, and he didn't get rocked it off. So, but he's not known for just taking a beating, So, guys that are known for having the best chin are guys that you've seen take beatings and stick in the fight, like I previously mentioned. So yeah, someone off that list. Roy Nelson, Nate Diaz, Justin Gaethje, Darren Elkins, those guys. How does Stylebender do against top middleweights and top light heavyweights, says Jordan Walsh. Against top middleweights, I think he does great. Of course, there's always that fucking Chris Weidman effect where anybody can look bad against Chris Weidman, But other than Chris Weidman, I think Adesanya can beat a lot of the top guys. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see how now, I don't want to fast forward and talk about Gastelum and Whitaker, but I would say that those are probably better matchups for Adesanya than even like a Chris Weidman. But other than that, I think Adesanya could look good against a lot of the top guys, like especially the other prospects like fucking Costa, who he was supposed to fight. But other than that, Derek Brunson, I think Adesanya can look great against. The only people I think Adesanya would really have a problem with in the middleweight division, and I can't wait to see how Paulo Costa does against Yoel Romero, because Yoel Romero, just because he doesn't come in there and ragdoll guys all fight, he's definitely one of the best wrestlers in the middleweight division. So that's going to be a tough fight for Paulo Costa. But other than that, that's another guy I was thinking about, Adesanya. Like, how would Adesanya do against Romero? That's another guy you could look at like, ooh, that's tough. But so other than that, man, I think as far as his striking is concerned and his takedown defense, I think that can take him pretty far in the middleweight division, barring that he can, I don't want to say avoid the Weidman matchup, but if he fights that fight, it's going to be really tough. But other than that, I think he can beat a lot of guys. But Weidman's that guy. So with that being said, moving on, you said the light heavyweight division as well. Light heavyweight division, I like that, but damn, one of his fights he weighed in at like 182 or 183. You know what I'm saying? He's already a pretty small middleweight, it seems, unless, he just overdid it on the weight cut. But, he made weight definitely seem pretty easy. So moving up 20 pounds, sheesh. I mean, lucky for him, and a lot of the middleweights, the light heavyweight division isn't the most stacked. We're seeing some of those light heavyweight contenders coming up. Like, who's the dude that just beat Justin Ledet? Alexander Rakic. That motherfucker looked like a beast at light heavyweight. And a lot of the middleweights are coming up. So I think Yoel Romero talked about moving up recently, Luke Rockhold. But, I mean, how do you think he would do against like a Gustafsson. I mean, even a fucking Ilir Latifi. I think he could beat some guys, maybe especially like some of the veterans, right, coming down, like the Shogun Huas. Maybe he could even, you know, beat like an Anthony Smith, a guy that's making a run at light heavyweight. But it would be interesting to see how he did against like a Gustafsson or an Ilir Latifi type character. Those might be some tougher matchups, but I for sure think he could make it to the top 5 of the light heavyweight division or the middleweight division as of right now. So there you go. Jordan Walsh said, what's next for both Kevin Lee and Ferguson? Yo, we're about to do a live stream right after this, and I'm going to tell you, I think what might be next is Kevin Lee and Ferguson. Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson 2. Because Tony Ferguson just announced he was medically cleared a couple days ago, and now he just said today, fight news coming soon. Kevin Lee just said yesterday that he's training to whoop somebody's ass. He don't care who it is. He's fighting at UFC 229. Dana White has said in the past he wants to put Tony Ferguson on the same card as McGregor and Khabib, just in case somebody falls out. Ferguson's there to step up. So with that being said, Kevin Lee, I looked at the rankings. I'll pull them up for you because I had them up. I was looking at it. Let's look at the lightweight rankings. Boom. Kevin Lee's the only guy available to fight Ferguson in the top motherfucking 5, dog. Check it out. Everybody's booked. Khabib's fighting Conor. Ferguson open. Dustin Poirier's fighting Nate Diaz. Eddie Alvarez just lost to Dustin Poirier. Just fought, so he's not going to be. He just fought at UFC Calgary and just lost. So Kevin Lee open. Now Barboza just lost to Lee. Gaethje's fighting Vic. Pettis, maybe Pettis. That's the only other option. Maybe Tony Ferguson versus Pettis. But if it's not Tony Ferguson versus Pettis, well then Kevin Lee has already said he's starting a training camp. So what's next for Ferguson? Unless he wants to wait for a title shot, which it doesn't seem he's doing because he just said fight news coming soon. The only available opponents for Tony Ferguson are either Kevin Lee in a rematch or taking on Anthony Pettis. So we'll see what happens, but one of those two, and I think it'll be announced sooner rather than later. So let's go back to the questions. Moving up to CJ Pradilla. What's up, brother? Man, haven't commented in a while, but 7K. Let's go. Hey, full-time family. What do you think of the matchup between Paulo Costa and Yoel? Also, do you want to see Gamebred return to the octagon? Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero. I think that is a tough fight for Paulo Costa. If he wins that fight, he's fucking in there like swimwear. I mean, not as far as it doesn't answer all the questions, but if he can beat Yoel Romero, who's definitely one of the best wrestlers in the division, definitely still one of the scariest fighters, just knocked out one of the former champions, Luke Rockhold, fought Whitaker twice. I mean, Yoel Romero has for sure been proven he's one of the best middleweights in the world for a while now. So if if Paulo Costa can beat Yoel Romero, then he's, you know, shows he can beat one of the best middleweights in the world. Now, with that being said, it's going to be a tough matchup. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to pick Paulo Costa to win that fight in my mind, but hey, he definitely could. I mean, he just beat Uriah Hall, and you know, he got tagged a little in that fight, and if, you know, Yoel Romero touches you, you can go out for sure. So I think that's a really tough fight for Paulo Costa, man. Not gonna lie, but if he wins, it proves he's one of the best middleweights in the world. Do you want to see Gamebred return to the octagon? Fuck yeah, dog. Gamebred's one of my favorite fighters. I want to see the fight I want to see personally. Me. I don't give a fuck what no one else is talking about. This is just what I want to see. Gamebred versus RDA. I want to see my boy Jorge Masvidal, who used to get robbed at lightweight, so he moved up to welterweight because he said, I'm not going to be missing meals and holidays if I'm going to be getting fucking robbed by the judges. So I'm fighting a welterweight, and he still worked his way up to being one of the best welterweights in the world, 15 pounds up because of his fucking skills and his background being a motherfucking real fighter and not just an athlete, real experienced fighter. He's been fighting from the motherfucking backyards all the way around the world, promotion to promotion, doing his thug thizzle. So Jorge Masvidal, former lightweight fighting at welterweight. Now I want to see him fight the former lightweight champion, Rafael Dos Anjos, fighting at welterweight, because just in my mind, and I know it's not going to be in the history books, but if Jorge Masvidal beats RDA, he's a UFC champion, honorable UFC champion. I mean, at least RDA made it all the way to the top of the welterweight division as well. He also fought for that interim welterweight title. So he was former lightweight champion, fought for the welterweight title. If Jorge Masvidal could fight RDA and win that fight, I think that would be a big fight for his legacy. As far as I'm concerned as a fan, that would be great to see him beating that former champion in RDA. So that's what I want to see selfishly. Other than that, I would love to see Gamebred return against anybody. He's been wanting to fight Neil Magny. I mean, whether it's Lawler, fucking Usman, I don't care. Of course I want to see Gamebred. Why would I not want to see Gamebred back in the octagon? That's the real question. Do you not want to see Gamebred back in the octagon? That's crazy to me. CSH Combat Sports, Coach Shelton Harrison, that Rito Harrison, you're live on the show. Sit back and have a listen. And that's just the way that is. Coach Shelton Harrison in the building. Nothing. Man, this is nothing, bro. You got more coming. Much respect to you. Thank you very much, Coach Shelton Harrison, for all the support. Definitely the greatest WMMA channel on YouTube. I don't even know any other ones. I've seen a couple other ones popping up, but they ain't got nothing on the coach. So make sure you guys, if you're into WMMA, even boxing, go check out the coach. We got Webb's PK Vids. Yes, full-time. Congrats on the big 7K. My question would be, who was the first female MMA fighter in any organization that you watched and liked their fighting style? Mine is Joanna. Sheesh. That's a good question. Who was the first female MMA fighter I watched and liked their style? Damn, bro. You fucking got me with that one. I don't know. Liked their style. I don't really know. That's a weird question because I don't really know what you mean by liked their style. I mean, shit. I mean, Ronda Rousey was armbarring bitches, but as far as like their style, Joanna Jędrzejczyk's up there too, man. When I seen Joanna Jędrzejczyk do to oh, what is that girl's name? Valerie Leacher. No, I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That was some shit. Like, that was a crazy fight. I remember watching that, and I didn't know much. Like, I was still, like, back then, when was that fight? I don't even recall, but back then I wasn't as hardcore as I am now. Like, if you don't know the story, I was a casual fan back in Rampage, you know, Anderson Silva days. So that's when I was a casual fan. I came back around, you know, I think when Conor McGregor started making a little bit of his noise. It was still in the beginning, before he was even the champion. Rousey was doing her thing. So when I came back around, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I think, and Ronda Rousey were at the, you know, the beginning of their reigns. And so, I mean, Joanna, Ronda, but of course you got fucking, I mean, yeah, honestly, whenever Gina Carano was fighting in Strikeforce, you know, WMMA Pioneer, I wasn't even watching Strikeforce back then. I was casual, so I didn't really even know about it. So, but yeah, man, for me, it was the UFC females, and like their style. I wish I knew what you meant more by that question. I don't know what you mean. Like, I thought Joanna was one of the baddest bitches in the world with what she was doing, but also in that fight, I was like, damn, that chick, you know, maybe she needs a ref. You know, I was looking at that kind of like, you know, from a Derek Lewis perspective, Captain Saberho, like, somebody saved that chick. Joanna is beating her face off. You know what I'm saying? Her shit was boom, 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 boom. I was like, you know, that made me like, yo, I don't want my motherfucking sister or somebody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, but still, it let me know Joanna Jędrzejczyk was that bitch. You know what I'm saying? As far as the best, the champion. I knew why. She let everybody know she was the ice princess type shit. But Ronda Rousey, she was armbarring bitches, flipping motherfuckers, boom, 7 seconds. That was crazy. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe Ronda, maybe Joanna, as far as what really opened the doors in my eyes to WMMA. Because, like I said, back in the Gina Carano days and Strikeforce, I wasn't a hardcore fan. So, with that being said, there's the answer to the question. Moving on to the next, Alonzo. I have been here since the first day of the channel, bro. Old school, day one hitter on deck. Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa prediction or breakdown. You could put a list of the best prospects at light heavyweight, such as Dominic Reyes, Ian Cutelaba, Alexander Raychik, Darko Stosic, Khalil Roundtree, all tough dudes. Man, you said no jokes like Anthony. I thought that was a longer, because I remember you said like no jokes like dudes, and you said, oh, you edited it, so you might have deleted it. I remember that was like Anthony Smith. I'll pull up the light heavyweight rankings, but to the first question, we actually just talked a little bit about Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa. I mean, in my mind, it seems like it could be a bad match for Paulo Costa. because we don't know how he's going to be able to deal with Yoel Romero's wrestling. And also, if he gets tagged by Yoel Romero's type of motherfucker put you out. Whether it's with how he knocked out Luke Rockhold, just, you know, punches your lights out, or he lands some flying shit with explosiveness like a flying knee. I mean, Yoel Romero is just so fucking dangerous. Paulo Costa, he looked great in his fight versus Uriah Hall, but he did get clipped just a little bit. And with that being said, he still got the TKO in the second round. Crazy body shots. So, I mean, as far as that fight, I would just give a slight edge to Yoel Romero, man. I think he can find out a way to beat the up-and-comer. But if Paulo Costa does win the fight, he proves he's one of the best middleweights in the world. So, I would give a slight edge to Yoel Romero as far as my prediction. And a list of the best prospects at light heavyweight. Man, there's some coming up for sure. I love the guys you named, especially Alexander Raychik and Dominic Reyes. They've looked great. Ian Cutelaba just looked good in his return, the Hulk. I don't know if I'd put him up there with Alexander and Raychik and Reyes. Darko Stozic just recently looked good. Khalil Roundtree just knocked out Gokhan Saki. So, I mean, those are some tough dudes for sure. Let's look at the light heavyweight rankings real fast. Light heavyweight. Tyson Pedro, boom, got to get him on that list if you're talking about light heavyweight prospects. Can't miss him. Dominic Reyes, love it. Misha Serkinov, interesting. I mean, he was working his way up, man, and then he got knocked back down a little bit, but he was like on a 4-fight win streak before getting knocked out, man. So Tyson Pedro, Dominic Reyes, Alexander Raychik, like you said. Corey Anderson's got good wrestling. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if you call him a prospect. If he's still only like 25 or 26, I call him a prospect. He's only 28. He's still young. Corey Anderson, you could call a prospect. He's already in the top 6. I know people don't look at him like a champion right now, but he's a prospect. So, yeah, Corey Anderson. So, yeah, those guys. The guys you named, you know, are all good choices. But then, of course, you got to add Tyson Pedro to the list. Maybe Corey Anderson. Yeah, so there's a couple names. Next question we will move to, and much appreciated, Alonzo. Thanks for the support. You've been here since day one. Day one hitters on deck. Let's fucking go. That's dope. It's good to know that, you know, y'all ain't got tired of my shit. You started listening it. If you've been here since day one, like MMA from the Heartland, Troll Buster, Alonzo, a lot of the day one hitters, man, and you ain't got tired, that says a lot, you know, especially in this day and age. Motherfuckers ain't got no attention spans. You know, you find out about something, that's the new thing, and then you move on a couple months later. So it's dope to see that at least there's a few people that ain't getting tired of our shit. So that's dope to see all the time whenever you got people that have been around since the beginning. I'm talking about not even just this year and a month maybe now of full-time MMA. Remember, we had MMA Quick Picks. Before that, we had MMA Quick Hits 2. You know, and so we've probably been doing this almost a year and a half now, actually. But so that's dope that you guys ain't got burnt out on my shit yet, that's cool to see. You know what I'm saying? We might be doing something right. Who knows? Michelle says, I cannot believe you only got 7K shaking my head. You got deleted way too many times. Whoever keeps hating on you needs to get their life together, and fuck YouTube. They need to stop deleting channels for dumb shit. Hey man, notification bells don't be working. Motherfucking, it's crazy. Yeah. I hear where you're coming from, Michelle. You're another person that's been around, you know, since day one. It feels like been around for a while now. Yeah, honestly, we were growing fast. We should have more than 7,000. That's a fucking fact. We should have more than 7,000 now. But even after the channels got shut down, we were growing fine on this channel. We used to get, it's crazy because we used to get a lot more new viewers than we're doing, and we have our channels bigger, right? So like, I'll give you an example. When we had 4,000 subscribers on Fight Night, our videos would, you know, no matter who it was, would get like 7,000 views, you know, on the highest. Like, it would be kind of crazy. And that was our best nights on Fight Night when we did our post-fight predictions. And that's when we got a lot of our subscribers as well. But as of late, those aren't, it seems like a lot of our videos, like maybe, and I don't know if it's because trolls have reported it, but it seems like our videos don't get pushed to that suggested, you know, when you log on to YouTube, you got the suggested videos. That's where a lot of our views used to come from, and that's less so now. So I don't know if it's an algorithm. I don't know if it's because trolls have reported videos, and, you know, if YouTube if you get reported too many times, it might tell the YouTube algorithm that you're saying bad stuff, and so they don't push you to. That type of shit could be going on with some algorithms. But yeah, hopefully, and the other thing that could be, but we'll see, because it's, you know, Conor McGregor's back. You know, also UFC numbers have been down, right? Like fucking UFC on Fox. We saw UFC 225 stacked. UFC on Fox, Calgary stacked. The numbers were dead. So the fact that all the stars were gone, maybe, and that's the last hope. That's what I'm kind of hoping out for. It could be the fact that a lot of people just were like, man, fuck MMA. All the stars are gone. No one gave a shit. So why would they be watching my channel if they don't give a shit about the fights? You know, that's what we're holding out for. Maybe we're about to get all our crazy ass views back. But one reason that I don't necessarily think that's what's going on with our channel is because there's, you know, if you watch Joe Rogan's Fight Companions and look at those numbers, or some of the other channels that do post-fight reactions or fight companions, their numbers are still kind of similar to what they've been. You know what I'm saying? And so it kind of seems like, I don't know. So we'll see what happens, man. Either way, that's all just, you know, why I feel like you, maybe we should have more than 7,000 subs, but it is what it is. 7,000 is still crazy for 1 year. So with that being said, our foot's still in the door, so all we can do is keep grinding. Whether it takes motherfucking 1 year from now or 10 years from now, we're gonna keep grinding. So it is what it is. Appreciate the love though, Michelle. Given Sure Name says bed, wed, behead, fuck, marry, kill, Rose Namajunas, Michelle Watterson, Paige Van Zandt. Shout out to the Full-Time family. Get your gear from the official Full-Time store and join the dojo on Patreon. My motherfucking dog. You know what? Normally, I don't even really like doing those, but just because you shouted out the Full-Time store in the dojo on Patreon, all right, fuck Paige, marry Michelle, and then get killed by Pat Berry because you made me kill Rose. So there's my answer. Given Sure Name says, suppose there was an experience machine that would, damn, come on with the deep questions. Suppose there was an experience machine that would give you any experience you desired. Super duper neuropsychologist could stimulate your brain so that you would think and feel you were writing a great novel, or making a friend, or reading an interesting book. All the time, you would be floating in a tank with electrodes attached to your brain. Should you plug into this machine for life, pre-programming your life experiences? Of course, while in the tank, you won't know that you're there. You'll think that it's actually happening. Would you plug in? Where my life is at right now, I would plug right the fuck in, bro. I would plug in. I don't even know how that shit all the way works. I ain't even read the terms and conditions. Plug me in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm feeling right now. But like in a perfect world, you know what I'm saying? If I had air conditioning and shit and my life was going better, that's a tough one. I mean, cause you gotta think about it. That's where you would actually have to read the terms and conditions. You know what I'm saying? The terms of service. So I don't know, man, because then what about your family? Like, do you still get to, like, when you're in there, do you get the feeling of visiting your family whenever you want, or the people you love, or stuff like that? Like, or is it a, you know, I don't know. Maybe I would overthink that shit if I really tried to. But so I'll just go with my first answer, man. Fuck all that long talk. Yeah, man, plug me in. Plug me the fuck in, my dog. But that's a crazy ass question. Chilling like a scot-free villain says, Big Full-Time, what's your opinion on the non-existent tie in MMA? Give Me Back My Bullets by Leonard Skinner, Lone Wolf by Hank Williams Jr. Those are the country music suggestions I was asking for. But now you guys saw, we already did the James Vick vs. Justin Gaethje Boys Around Here remix. So if you guys hear those country music suggestions, that's what those were for, if you didn't hear the question part of this. So my opinion on the non-existent time in MMA, I don't know. There's a majority draw sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. You think there should be like just a tie, a flat tie sometime? I don't know about that. I think there's got to be a winner and a loser. I mean, I could see that, like, I mean, both of y'all suck. Fuck that. That was a tie. But I mean, there's already a majority draw, so I don't know. The judges, how would that work with the judges? You know, the judges, you can either choose, like, what do you do? Check off the tie box. You know, there's 3 different judges. If 2 of the 3 choose tie, it's a tie. I think there already is kind of a tie with the majority draw. You know what I'm saying? If the judges, you know, if it's a majority draw, no fighter gets a win or a loss. So with that being said, yeah, I don't know really much more about the non-existent tie, but yeah, I would just say maybe that's kind of like a majority draw. Forward says, are you backing Woodley to get the W at UFC 228? And if so, are you willing to enter a friendly wager? Winner takes all. Prize punishment to be announced. P.S. Love, brother. Keep doing your shizzle. Always here to help whatever. I am actually, you know what? Damn, I don't know if I'm going to say this early. I as of late, bro, I've been thinking Woodley might get this W. I don't know. I fuck with Till. Y'all know I fuck with Till. But I just watched Champ Camp. Tyron Woodley's the motherfucking champ for a reason. His legacy's there. I mean, even if he doesn't fight fucking GSP, even if he doesn't get to fight GSP, he's been building a solid legacy by his damn self, beating Wonder Boy with the draw, the 20 fucking some odd takedowns defense, you know, no takedowns against whatever. He's doing some things, knocking out Robbie Lawler. People don't give him his credit, but Tyron Woodley's still the champion for a reason. And when you look at the welterweight division, you don't really look at anybody that can beat Tyron. Now there's a couple of guys like Darren Till and Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman entering the mix, but they just entered, and that's because Tyron Woodley kind of cleared out the rest of the top 5. And so now we got some new faces up there, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the champions. It's going to happen someday. I mean, I thought Colby Covington was a bad matchup for Tyron Woodley. I'm not going to lie. I thought, you know, if you're thinking about who actually beat Tyron Woodley, like a Rory McDonald and his style, the guy with the most similar style to Rory McDonald in the top 5 in my mind is Colby Covington. Or maybe a Kamaru Usman. You know, he's a great, they're very well-rounded, but really great wrestlers. So, yeah, man. Darren Till, though, it's going to be tough for him. He's a really big dude, and of course he could knock out Woodley. But as far as winning, it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be a tough fight for Darren Till, and it's kind of crazy, you know, going into the fight. Tyron Woodley might fuck around and be an underdog, and that's just kind of, whew, that's crazy. So we'll see what happens. But as far as a wager, I don't like betting people, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hope they pay up, and then if you lose, you gotta pay up. Like, I don't even know what the fuck, you know. So I mean, I'd be down for some sort of wager, if you know what I'm saying. I'd bet some money if I wasn't broke, but other than that, I don't even know what the fuck we would wager or nothing like that. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I might give Woodley the W, man. I might give him the W. 7K says Frank Shamrock. Right on, the channel keeps improving. Great job. Travis Tritt is a great day to be alive. It's a cool country song. Appreciate it, Frank Shamrock. George Page says, congrats, brother. Hope you have more success. Also, here's a good country song. Toby Keith, Red Solo Cup, or Johnny Cash, Hurt in that song. And that was a 9 Inch Nails song. All right, appreciate it, George Page. I'm him 247 says, congrats on 7K, one of my favorite MMA YouTube channels. It'll only get bigger. Much appreciated. I'm him. RemovedLizaard says, congrats, full-time. Name drop your top 5 WMMA babes. So by babes, you're not talking about like fighting skills. So we'll go motherfucking, let's see. So I'm trying to think of like from feather, like starting in the divisions. Josette Cotton, no, I'm just fucking around. Let me quit trolling. Cyborg, I'm still trolling. No, Cyborg, hey, Cyborg be looking good sometimes. Fuck what you talking about. Megan Anderson at featherweight. I'm thinking about this from divisions. Megan Anderson, Cindy Dandois, moved down to bantamweight. You got motherfucking Ali. Oh, I mean, we're talking top 5. I'm just gonna run off some names because I didn't have no top 5 list prepared. You got Holly Holm at bantam, Juliana Pena for sure. 1 second, I got some people coming up here for some reason. What?
Apparently you said to bring her up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got to go to the open house or something. Yeah, so, alright, I'm going to have my niece up here for a second, but she's going to be watching TV, eating some chips, I think, with her aunt. So, I got to babysit her real quick. They got to walk to the open house. Side note, but, so yeah, where was we at? Juliana Pena. Let's go to flyweights. Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, of course, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, Mackenzie Dern. Who just fought Polyetta. I mean, you can go on and on, man. You know what I'm saying? WMA's got some baddies up there. So I don't got a top 5 list prepared. We did that in the past. You can try and find that. I'm sure you can somewhere. But yeah, appreciate it though, RemovedLizaard. Whatever stops the tears. Congrats on the 7K. Been here since the beginning. Another day one hitter on deck. What's going on? For Western Civilization says, congrats, dude, on reaching 7,000 subscribers, only going up. I appreciate it, Western Civilization. Question. The Weasel is starting a podcast really soon. He plans on having people and other creators on. I've mentioned it to him a few times that you and him should link up for a podcast. I think you two would make a good team. Yeah, man, and that's, yeah, I saw that question a little earlier. But yeah, no, same here, brother. I've reached out to him, and now I'll elaborate a little on the story. Someone's asked me that at one of these Q&As before. They said that, you know, they said that they would love to hear it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to reach out to him. Reached out, Twitter, YouTube, never got a response. I think an email maybe even, and so what do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I would definitely do a collaboration with anybody that was open to doing it. And yeah, I heard that on one of his, I don't know what it was, I don't know if it was a prediction or something, but I heard him recently talking about doing some collaborations. But with that being said, if he hits me up, I'll definitely be down. I'm not turning down any opportunities as far as any other channels, you know, and not that I can think of. I was thinking unless to like some fucking bagel boy clout chaser type crazy shit, but if I enjoy their stuff and if people want to see it, then I'm definitely in. But some of these people out here are a little crazy. But hey, maybe he looks at me as a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard from him or got a response. But yeah, so I'm in. Moving on, 20 times Man United says, who would you say is the best lightweight in the world? Conor, Khabib, or Tony? You mother trucker. What a fucking question. The best lightweight in the world, Craig. Motherfucker. I mean, shit. I almost gotta give it to fucking Conor right now. I mean, Khabib's the champ, but I'm just thinking, who's beat the best opponent? Let's just look at it that way. I mean, as far as the champion, Khabib beat Edson Barboza, who was ranked number 4, and then of course Quintin, but it, you know, wasn't his fault. But still, we haven't got to see Khabib versus like a fucking Eddie Alvarez, who Conor McGregor knocked out, and he was the champion. So, and then when you look at Tony Ferguson, not his fault, but he fought Kevin Lee, who was ranked number 7, who previously had never fought a top 5 fighter. So it's just the way the rankings have played out. But I mean, even with that being said, even though Conor McGregor legit earned his belt from the champion, Khabib is a little bit of a bad matchup for Conor. So, and then Tony Ferguson, even though he's on a 10-fight winning streak and he was the interim champion, we haven't got to saw him fight Conor or Khabib. So how do you give him the nod over them? So it's just such a fucking hard question to really have the right answer. I don't think you can know the right answer to that question. But it's out of Conor and Khabib, and so we're gonna see. We're gonna see on fucking UFC 229 who's the best lightweight in the world, man. And Tony Ferguson, maybe he'll be booked there too. He's got a fight announcement coming soon. So between Conor and Khabib, and we'll find out on UFC 229. But just going off of who actually beat the champion, it was Conor McGregor who knocked out Eddie Alvarez. Neither one of these other guys have got the chance to fight a top contender yet, but Khabib's still the champ, so it is what it is. Your favorite UFC card? Fuck, man, I want to see UFC. I want to say UFC 225 just to be an asshole, but I'm not going to. My favorite card, you might have to go with like UFC. What was it? 217? Was that GSP versus Bisping, Joanna versus Rose, Dillashaw versus Garbrandt? All 3 belts exchanged hands. That might have to be the fucking card. You know what I'm saying? That one was crazy. All 3 belts switched, like fucking all 3 fights, crazy. Yeah, man, that's gotta be it just off the top of my head. I got music for you, A. Leon. Well, I appreciate it, A. Leon. So let me hear it. You're on the way, says Lupstar. Well, I appreciate that, Lupstar. Seismic Shot. GTA had lots of country tunes. Loved that game. Hell yeah, man. I used to play GTA all the fucking time. I think they're gonna be making like GTA 6 sometime soon, right? GTA 5's been rocking for like 5 motherfucking years. Ain't that crazy? Seismic Shark says, you know that dude Robin Black? I reckon he would do an interview with you full time. He's only got 25k subs, therefore he may be interested in chatting with you, especially if the full-time fam gives a few subs and a little spam his way. He wants more subscribers just like you and making, I don't know why it's not showing me the full comment. And making, hey, but I would fucking, yeah, I don't even know. Robin Black almost seems way too big for me. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't seem like an independent YouTuber. I think he works on like Canada's ESPN. He's got his own stuff going on. He's like already a fucking celebrity. Everybody knows Robin Black. I don't think he is obtainable as far. I don't think he would want to interview me. I'm a fucking nobody. You know what I'm saying? If he's gonna interview somebody, he's gonna interview somebody that's got a fight coming up. Fucking Ariel Helwani, Brendan Schaub. He's not gonna interview some fucking rando YouTuber coming up, some fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Robin Black would be looking to do an interview with me. But hey, I would do one with him for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Robin Black. I love what he does. Like, his shit is so entertaining. Like, I just remember his breakdown. One of my favorite breakdowns ever from him was the breakdown of Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Like, talking about like ground zero, the eagle. Like, the way he does things, like theatrics, to me, Robin Black is super fun. And he's one of the more entertaining, you know what I'm saying, MMA media members when he does his breakdowns and stuff. Definitely like seeing those. So yeah, Robin Black, definitely a fun guy. I would do an interview with him, but like I said, I don't think I'm a guy he's on his radar. Seismic Shock said, what month or what year did you gain the most subscriptions and what fight card was on that time? I don't think I can break it down month by month like that. Like, in the analytics, what I look at, what I've been looking at is you can look at the first 90 days, you can look at first 30 days, you can look at last 90 days, you can look at last 30 days, and you can look at it that way. So I just looked at those, and like the first 30 days and the first 90 days, a lot of our new traffic and our new subscribers came from that suggested tab. And now, like, that percentage has shrank away into a lot of our views and subscribers are coming from just our channel. So you know what I'm saying? It's really just people returning to the channel that have been here before. We're not reaching as many new people, and like I said, who knows what that is. Hopefully, and what's crazy, let me get this out, because this is what's crazy. At one time, bro, UFC Hamburg recently, a couple of weeks ago, it was like the fucking cap was lifted again. We started getting like fucking 20 subscribers, 25 subscribers a day, how it used to be. Hella new subscribers daily. And it was only at UFC Hamburg, and then our shit got shut back down. And now we're getting like 4 subscribers a day, like on the clock. Like, it's like you get 4 subscribers, maybe 5. But before, whatever I don't know if it was when we started getting reported, or if it's the fact that we're fucking independent media. I don't know if that's got something to do with it or not. Either way, our shit has, it's like we're, you know, stopped. We started going back to like 4 or 5 subscribers a day. But like I said, when we had like 3,000 subs, 2,000 subs, 4,000 subs, we were getting like fucking 15, 20 subs a day. It was just constant. And then it just changed. And like I said, we'll see if that's because the stars were gone. That could be it. Maybe nobody was just giving a fuck about anything going on. But we'll see what happens. But recently, that's why another weird thing, like, it changed. I don't know if it was a specific video or whatnot, but like right after UFC Hamburg, we got a bunch of new subscribers, and I was noticing it because we've got the notifications. Like, if somebody subscribed right now, this whole time I was recording this, you would hear the noise, because I'm doing this through the streaming format. So, you know, it would go, it would play my alert, limousine ride and chip, I just can't stop holding these alligators down. Woo, that Ric Flair soundtrack. So one day I noticed that motherfucker was just going off, and the next day it was too, and it was consistent. And now it's back to very rare. We get like a subscriber every 5 hours, like on the clock. It's kind of crazy. So weird situation there, but yeah, hopefully that shit changes again. And if not, we just got to start sharing our shit the old-fashioned way on Twitter, Facebook groups, however we can do it. You know, it's kind of like before the internet, you know, how you had to get the word out about your business, word of mouth. It's like, if we're in a bad YouTube algorithm, or if something fucking happened to where our channel's not getting put out in the suggested tabs because people are reporting our videos, well then we gotta fucking just do it the old way, keep grinding, you know what I'm saying? I don't got no connects at YouTube to be like, hey yo, what the fuck happened with our channel in these last couple of months? So yeah, but we'll see what happens though. As far as what specific month, I can't give you that answer, so I just gave you all of that. Karate Kid said, congrats on 7K, bro. Keep grinding. Yes, sir. That's what I'm going to do. I think we're at the top comment. Seismic Shark said, how much would the UFC have to pay Cody and Joanna to hook up and go on a dinner date with TJ and Rose? Wow, dog. That sounds like the dopest fucking episode of like fucking MMA Eliminate ever. Like, that's crazy. I know it wouldn't be like Eliminate, but that sounds like a crazy ass UFC reality show. Now it sucks because, you know, if you were paying them to do it, it would be like, it wouldn't be natural because Cody and they got their girls and they just had babies. So like, but if you could suspend reality from all that and just think about it, like, you know, Cody and Joanna just both lost twice to the champs. TJ and Rose just both beat them twice. They are the champs. Now they're going on a double date. You could just imagine the dynamic. I mean, you would think TJ and Rose, they were probably paying that night. You know what I'm saying? They probably got the bill. I mean, ooh, that would be crazy. It might be a fight. For sure, there'd be somebody's drink thrown in somebody's face by the end of the night. Come on. Rose and Eunice going out on a fucking double date. TJ and Cody, that bar's getting torn the fuck up. Rose is going to say, you know, this is good. I appreciate you for paying for my food, me and Cody's food, but you must still bow down to me. And she's like, bitch, I'm not bowing down to you. Me and TJ are the champs. And she'd be like, no, you know what I'm saying, Rose? Just throw Joanna the fucking snap. Like, you don't want to bow down? Throw a drink, you know, it escalates. Drink gets thrown. Motherfucking Cody's like, you better get your fucking girl, dog. You better get your fucking girl. TJ's like, or what the fuck are you gonna do? I already whooped your ass twice. Wait, what? No. What the? You get your fucking girl. She's the delusional one. And Cody, oh yeah, motherfucker, delusional. And they go at it. And then, you know what happens. We all know what happens. Rose Namajunas, TJ Dillashaw, get the W, pay the check, dust off their shirt, and they walk out like, you know what I'm saying, like fucking civil human beings. They won. What'd you expect to happen in that fight? That's a little fantasy fight for you at the end of the episode. So with that being said, it is what it is, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be going live really soon. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. Holy shit, I got to be live in 40 minutes, which means I got to stop this, upload it, all of this shit, and be live in 40 minutes. We got to get on that. See ya. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time I upload a new video, or some of the time that I upload a new video, because YouTube's notification bell is a player hater. But this is one of the hardest working independent MMA channels on YouTube. We provide daily updates, full fight card breakdowns and predictions. We make MMA fighter freestyles, and we've already interviewed pro fighters Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Felony Charles Bennett, and Bruce Lush-Medio in just a little over a year as an MMA channel. We're one of the fastest growing MMA channels on YouTube. So with that being said, if you're interested in more videos like this, check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over at patreon.com. One of the things you can see while you're over there are some of the goals of the channel, and also more free videos like this, betting advice, and more. We just launched the Full-Time MMA store over on teespring.com, and we've got some limited edition gear in order to celebrate that. We've got some Day One Foot the Other Side shirts that are only available for a limited time. Also, you got leggings, phone cases, Don't Be a Bagel Biter, coffee mugs, and more. With that being said, you can check the links out in the description if you want to check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo or the Full-Time MMA store on Teespring. I apologize about the long outro, but a closed mouth don't get fed, so respect. Let the Full-Time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.